Hello, hello, hello to everyone under the sound of my voice. I hope everyone is having an amazing day on purpose. Happy Monday, beautiful people. It's been a few days since I've been on live, and I know I owe y'all a couple of videos. But I have been busy, busy, busy as a bee building my new business and working on that. So, um, I have been away from the tube of you, but here we are going live as I run a few errands. As always, I'm not going to show my screen because I'm in the car with somebody else and I respect their privacy at all costs. And say happy Monday. I pray that everyone is woke up with, in their right mind, with a positive mindset. Today is the first day of school for my youngest baby. Okay. First day of school for my youngest baby. For 6 weeks, which means that we basically go to school year round. We only have like 8 weeks of summer. It kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Anyway, y'all, like I said, I hope everyone is having an amazing day on purpose. I hope that your day is filled with positivity. I hope that you woke up purpose filled, knowing what you want to do and going after it. I have definitely been getting to it. Your girl has been on her grind. We are now the proud owner of my own salon. I don't know if I'm lagging or not. Sometimes we go through a little dead spot. But I'm now the proud owner of my own salon. It is a salon suite, and I'm running it by myself, for myself, with myself, because I can only depend on me when it comes to business things. I know how I'm going to show up. So that is the best move for me right now, and I'm so excited. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's talk about how do you get from going through a bunch of adversity and getting over and overcoming and overstaying. A lot of times people will tell you that there's a reason for everything that you go through, and I do believe that, good, bad, and in between. Sometimes the lessons that we have to learn are learned the hard way. And if I'm lagging or whatever, I greatly appreciate it. I greatly apologize. The rock bottom, so that you have nobody to reach for but him. And in those moments, you realize what God has put in you, what your purpose is, what you were meant for, and that God is always there even if nobody else is. Now, I ain't trying to get too preachy on here or whatever. I'm just sharing what I know from life experiences. A lot of times we go through trials and we look at other people's situations and we what we're going through and how good things are for them. And we ask God, why have you for 3 months ago? Because I felt like it wasn't being seen. And I'm not a person that likes to take all kind of the spotlight, but I felt like I was being overlooked a lot of times. And I realized for me to overcome that, I had to teach people how to treat me. Bring me down, you're not for me, and I just need to let you go. And they're not meant to stay. Some there for a short time just to teach you a lesson. So yeah, y'all, I just want anybody that is listening to this today to know that you can get through it. Not saying that it's always going to be easy. Some things are harder for others than they are for you. Some things will come your way and you'll have questions and you'll wonder why. And the hardest scripture in the Bible for me to follow is lean not to thine own understanding. I can't quote exactly where that scripture comes from. But basically it's saying, you can't have the same understanding that God has. God has certain things in place for a certain reason. And sometimes it's not meant for you to get the why in the moment. You got to work through it. And then sometimes you look back like, oh, okay, so that was all part of God's design. I use myself in it as an example. So 3 years ago, I was on my grind. I was zooming around this high volume salon, and I was getting clients left and right, and I was doing all these things. I was making all the goals, all the commission. I was picking up all the shifts, and I was making some nice money. And I said to myself, man, my kids' birthdays and Christmas are going to be on point this year. And I was so focused, but really I was overworking myself. I wasn't eating healthy like I needed to. I wasn't balancing my work family life. I was just working and falling out, and just like very focused on just working. And I ended up walking across the salon one day, and my foot popped. What I didn't know is that I had broken a bone on the side of my foot, maybe from like wear and tear, years of being on my feet cutting hair. And then also I was severely overweight at the time, so probably all of that did not help me. When I broke my foot, everything started to go downhill. I was in severe pain every day because I walked on it for 6 months. Then I was told, hey, it's not healing, you're gonna have to have surgery. I said, that's a no. I ended up having to have surgery. My foot got infected. I had to have a second surgery. All this led to me being on workers' comp for 11 months, almost a year. And if you know about workers' comp, it's a piece of what you normally make. During this time, also on top of that, my ex-husband passed away. The way he passed away and where he passed away, I will detail in my Survivor series. You'll have to look out for that. You can go catch up on that playlist right now if you want. It's called Survivor's Edition, and it details the things that I went through. Thank you so much for the like. I appreciate you. I am not in the comments right now, but I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Anyway, so I broke my foot. I'm not at my job. I'm not making the same amount of money I normally did. My ex-husband died. I had to deal with not only explaining that to my youngest child, but dealing with the grief that he now had. On top of that, I also had to deal with the fact that I'm not making money to pay my bills like I once did. It was a lot going on, y'all. Like a lot. So in all of that, I just was praying. And I said, God, something is things are just not coming together. I need help, Lord. Please help me, God. And I gave everything to God in those moments. And I started going live on TikTok. And I started sharing my story. And the more I shared my story, the freer I felt, the lighter I felt. Because other people that were going through the similar things were really relating to it, and they were getting a release, because we were all in those lives and on these posts really just releasing things that had been holding us down. A lot of times what you don't realize is that when you're holding on to anger over a situation, when you're holding on to bitterness, you think that you're doing something. You one up in that person that did you wrong. What you're really doing is damaging your own spirit. You're messing with your mental health. You're messing with your physical health, because it will start to wear on you. The more you hold anger around a situation or a person that did you dirty, it's not going to hurt them, because they're going to go on with their lives. They're going to continue on. You're going to see them on Instagram just having a good old time. And you're going to be sitting in the house ticked off, upset, depressed, mad. Probably gaining weight, probably not managing money, not paying attention to things, because you're so determined to carry this anger. That anger is like somebody tied a cinder block to your ankles and dumped you in a swimming pool. It's going to weigh you down. But a lot of times we hold on to it because we feel like, no, I got a right to be mad. I'm going to be upset. This person did me dirty, and every time I see them, I'm going to give them a dirty look. And every time I see them, I'm going to let them know. The more you hold on to that energy, the more you pulling yourself down, not them. That's why they say forgiveness is for you. It's not because you letting the person know that what they did was okay. You forgive them so you can let go of it and move on to something better. So that's one of the ways that you can get over adversity in situations, is to let go of the hurt. And I'm not saying that that's easy. I held on to my hurt for years. And it was like when that person left this world, there was another type of hurt. There was still anger because it wasn't settled in the way that I wanted it to be settled. God had his own plans. And all of a sudden things were finished, but they weren't finished for me mentally or emotionally. I still have physical scars from that situation. I still have some emotional scars, but I'm aware of them now, so I work through them and I don't let it take hold of me. So when you go through a situation and you're going through adversity, if you hold on to the part of it that made you feel bad or down or depressed, you are not moving forward, you're not growing, and you're not elevating. And that's the reason why I get on here and I talk about the things that I do, because I want other people to elevate. I want other people to feel good about themselves. I want people to know that they matter. There are so many people in this world that think that they are alone. And I don't want people to walk around thinking that way. So if even one person is touched by what I say or the sound of my voice, or they start to think differently because I've shared my story, I feel like it is very much worth it. Regardless if I get monetized, regardless if I get the subscribers, regardless if I get the brand deals. Those things are extra bonuses. But being able to be on the other side and to show people how to get there without just a quick snapshot of things. Okay, you see the short videos. I use the weight loss transformations. A lot of them that you see, you'll see the person overeating, depressed, or drinking or whatever, and doing things to their bodies that are unhealthy, and they'll be overweight, and then you see a quick little snap and it's like, oh, they're so toned and in shape and perfect now, and they're smiling and they're happy. But you didn't see the journey in between the start and the finish. So my goal is to always share the journey, the ugly parts of things. Yes, I'm on the good side of it, but I want to be able to tell people how I got here, because it was me and God. Literally. My friends couldn't talk me through it. My family couldn't talk me through it. People that love me couldn't love me through it. I had to work my way through it, with God. And I even had, people that I loved, they said, it hurts me to be around you because I can't help you. And it's not because they were abandoning me, but they stepped back some because they could not bear to see me go through what I went through and know that they couldn't help me get over it. So if you're listening to this today, please know that you matter and that you are seen. You might not feel like it, but you are seen. You do matter. You are worth it. You're worth people treating you right. You're worth treating yourself right. And that's something we forget. We want everybody in the world to treat us a certain way, and we have all these standards for how other people do us. How are you treating yourself? What are your standards for you? That's another way you can overcome adversity. If the people around you aren't treating you well, start treating yourself right. Ladies, gentlemen, whoever, stop waiting for somebody to buy you some flowers. Go buy them for yourself. Because somebody's going to see that and they're going to say, okay, that's their standard. That's what they're expecting. And they'll start to abide by that. Start respecting yourself a little bit more. Instead of going out the house bummy, dress up a little bit. I ain't saying you got to put on, your Sunday's best, but make yourself look good. Attend to your hair. Brush your teeth. Wash your face before you come out in the morning. Stop looking all crusty, because somebody's going to see you being crusty and they're going to be like, okay, I can treat them any kind of way because they don't even care. These are small ways that you can overcome adversity. Make these small changes. Start caring about you before you worry about if somebody else is caring about you. Start loving on you first. Yeah, you can go on a solo date. It don't mean you're lonely. You can be alone without being lonely, because I have definitely been lonely in a whole marriage. Okay? You can be the loneliest person in the world and be with somebody because they're not treating you right and they don't value you. So you need to value yourself first. If this touched you in any kind of way and you're feeling my content, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Turn your notifications on, because I do live sporadically. I post videos all the time. I'm going to continue sharing my journey. Thank you so much for listening. Peace and blessings.